we've got to break down this comparison between Notre Dame and Miami. And, this is where it really gets interesting for the college football committee because they haven't been putting Notre Dame and Miami in the same comparison block of 4 or 5 teams or whatever they do this stupid stuff that they're talking about. But now they have to put them together. And it has to be a Miami and Notre Dame comparison, both between head-to-head and resume. And the truth of the matter here is that Miami wins on the resume and in the head-to-head. And there's no question about it when you look at comparable opponents. First of all, Miami beat Notre Dame. You can't say it was in week 1, week 6, whatever. It was a win for Miami against Notre Dame. And yes, has Notre Dame improved since that game? I believe they have defensively. But at the end of the day here, we've got 4 other common opponents that both of these teams have played. Let's start with Pittsburgh. Both of them played them in the last 3 weeks. Miami just beat Pitt by 31 points. Notre Dame won that game by 22. Yes, there was a timeout taken with 4 seconds to go in that game. And Notre Dame was winning by 28. And then they end up letting up a touchdown with 4 seconds to go to cut that game to 22. The bottom line here is Miami beat Pitt just as well as Notre Dame beat them, if not better. You can't argue that. North Carolina State, another common opponent for both of these teams. Miami won that game by 34 points. Notre Dame won that game by 29 points. So the bottom line here is that Miami beat NC State worse than Notre Dame did. Again, a common opponent. We also have Stanford. Notre Dame just beat them the other day by 29 points. Miami beat them earlier this year by 35 points. Yes, Miami played them at home, Notre Dame on the road. Notre Dame knew they had to win that game in a big fashion this weekend, and they gave up 14 points in the fourth quarter. What were they doing? Why would they give up those points, knowing they needed those points? And then we have the Syracuse comparison, which isn't even really a fair comparison here because Miami beat a Syracuse team that actually had a Division I scholarship player at quarterback by 28 points. Notre Dame beat them by 63 points, who had a walk-on who was actually on a lacrosse scholarship there at Syracuse starting at quarterback. So it's not even a fair comparison in those 2 games. And Miami beat them by 28. Notre Dame beat them by 63, literally without a quarterback. So if you're going to put Notre Dame in the playoff, you cannot leave Miami out. The best thing to do here, College Football Committee, would be to leave them both out and say you got to win these games or you got to win your conference and you can't lose 2 games if you're Notre Dame. End of story. Todd Talks College Football.